things are very unsettled. Things are changing. They're in the space of, we are actually in the change. It's not going to change. We are in the change of how everything is moving toward that which it needs to be in divinity. That divine space we've always dreamed about and wanted to see. It is moving into that. But how that exactly looks has been a fluid thing. So how quickly we got there, how much of what we have now we're comfortable with that was going to be there, was still very fluid. There was trying to keep as much to keep us comfortable as possible. So right now we're in this, but it wasn't working well. It just wasn't working well. And for us, when we're trying to move into something new, we tend to build off things we already know and accept. So in the idea of what an adult does and how they move through life, adults will usually have a quote-unquote job. Something they do outside of just their normal living in things, such as making your bed, cleaning your house, fixing meals. You have some other profession or job that you do that makes your ability to live happen. If you don't have a job or something, or a source of income, then you aren't really allowed to live here. And our idea or concepts of moving into something is, okay, maybe we can change from these kinds of jobs to different kinds of jobs. So we can change from, say, jobs that are very authoritarian in hierarchy and move into more type of jobs that are more communal and supportive. And that was what we want to think of as changing. We're just sort of changing an apple for an orange. They're both fruit. They're both round. They taste a little different, but they're both very, very similar. But what is actually moving and happening is we're not going to just change from jobs that are hierarchy, me first, to jobs that are communal, everybody support each other, to a completely different paradigm. And that makes us uncomfortable. You can see it very easily in eating. And I will explain this. When people have jobs or school that are very, very time regulated, people will eat at the allotted time. You will eat, you might get something in the morning before you go to your job or your school. Then you will eat something during the allotted lunch break. Then you will eat after that work or school. You will eat your later meal of the day. Now some people might snack after that, but those are your normal allotted meals a day. And in Western cultures, that is pretty much, or not just Western culture, cultures that have that time slotted thing for the day, that is what they do pretty much do. But as people have been at home more, not completely controlled, they have been finding they're doing much more grazing. Just a little bit of eat here, or they eat when they're hungry, not because it's the allotted time to eat. They eat because this is what they want to eat, not because this is what they have to eat something. They need to make sure it's changing into this. And they're trying to get people back into, it's like even people who are doing like online schooling, they're trying to keep the kids on their same schedule because they don't want them breaking free from that same schedule. But this is opening up an opportunity to allow parents to move away from online school, which is just the same schooling, just they're doing it at home, to a more, why don't we just homeschool so we can have more freedom And we don't have to have all these constraints. And that will open their kids up more to eating and more of a natural, free-flowing thing. This is where it is that's moving. The idea of carefully orchestrated, allotted things is going to be moving away. We're not just changing apples from oranges, eating it at a school for lunch or eating at home for lunch, but doing it at the exact same time. We're moving away from that totally. And that is as that is being pulled and it's moving in that direction, people are very scared because they don't know how that will look. That is not the way things have looked for as long as they can remember, not just in their lifetimes, but in as far back as they can remember. And it's a very tumultuous time period because they don't know what it's going to look like. They're afraid if I don't do this, then I won't be able to live, because that's the rules for living here. You have to do these things. That's going away. It's not going to be like that. The way life is going to move is going to be different. Living, because you will live. You will just live, and you will have what you need to live. It's not going to be all this. You can only have what you need to live if you follow these specific rules, because there aren't going to be those specific rules. And that makes people uncomfortable, because we're in the earlier stages of this disappearing and crumbling. And that makes us all uncomfortable. It's best to just go with the flow right now. We can feel this tug, but we can't do that. We feel this tug, but we can't do that.